Good day, everyone. We will discuss to you the autonomic nervous system and introduction to the ANS drugs. To begin with, the autonomic nervous system is the part of a nervous system that supplies the internal organs, and these internal organs works automatically. So we breathe, we learn to act on something, and we digest our food without our conscious effort. So this is the main function of the autonomic nervous system. Moreover, the autonomic nervous system controls the internal body processes such as the following: the blood pressure, our heart rate and breathing rates, our body temperature, digestion, metabolism, the balance of the water and the electrolytes, and the production of the body fluids, urination, defecation, and also in sexual response. The autonomic nervous system divides into two divisions, the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. These two systems work together but have the opposing roles. The parasympathetic nervous system, it is for rest and digest actions, which directly digests the foods, expulsion of waste, and along with the other general maintenance reactions which occurs best in the relaxation state. On the other hand, sympathetic nervous system is for emergency situations, which is called as fight or flight. The sympathetic nervous system raises the heart rate, constriction of blood vessels, and the release of glucose from the liver. These two divisions works together to keep the body running smoothly. It is a process called dual intervention, but the specific moments, one may dominate depending on the situation. Autonomic nervous system is largely independent and is considered primarily with the visceral functions, such as cardiac output, the blood flow distribution, and also for digestion. The autonomic nervous system uses neurotransmitter to send signals and produces effect on the effector tissues. The general pharmacodynamics of drugs acting on the autonomic nervous system produces its effect by either mimicking or blocking the actions of the neurotransmitters, thus modifying autonomic functions. So these functions involves variety of effector tissues, including cardiac muscle, smooth muscle, vascular endothelium, exocrine glands, and presynaptic nerve terminals. The first drug to introduce under autonomic nervous system is the beta-adrenergic receptor antagonist, marketed as nebivolol under the brand name Nebilet. This drug was developed and patented in 1980s and came into medical use in Europe in 1997. Yet it was lately introduced in the US market after FDA approval for treatment of hypertension in 2007 under the brand name of Bistolic. So far, nebivolol is the only beta-adrenoceptor antagonist that has the highest selectivity for beta-1 adrenoceptor, with no intrinsic sympathetic activity or a membrane stabilizing activity. Before we proceed, let's take a look on the overview on beta blockers. Beta blockers, or the beta-adrenoceptor antagonists, are a class of drugs indicated for the treatment of a variety of conditions, including hypertension. So they are divided into three generations with different biochemical and pharmacological properties. The first generation drugs includes propranolol and sotalol. So they are non-selective, hence they target both the beta-1 and the beta-2 receptors. So these features brings a series of adverse effects such as bronchoconstriction and metabolic disruptions. The second generation drugs, atenolol, metoprolol, and bisoprolol, are dose-dependent cardioselective drugs, which thereby offer a more favorable side effects profile than the first generation. And lastly, the third generation drugs includes nebivolol, carvedilol, and labetalol are also cardioselective drugs, which shows additional vasodilatory properties. So as we can see, the 3rd-generation beta blockers offers a better hemodynamic profile along with fewer unfavorable metabolic side effects than the late generations. So again, nebivolol belongs to a 3rd-generation adrenergic receptor blocker. Nebivolol is a highly selective beta-1 adrenergic receptor antagonist, a weak beta-2 adrenergic receptor antagonist, and also a beta-3 adrenergic receptor antagonist. Nebivolol is therapeutically indicated for hypertension and heart failure, as approved by the FDA in the Philippines. Mechanism of action of nebivolol. Nebivolol has two active enantiomers, the D-nebivolol and the L-nebivolol. The D-nebivolol has a higher affinity for beta-1 receptors and is therefore mainly responsible for the cardiac effects. And on the other hand, the L-nebivolol primarily mediates the endothelium-derived release of nitric oxide that causes vasodilation. To further, the D-nebivolol antagonizes the beta-1 adrenoceptor in cyanoatrial node and in myocardium. When D-nebivolol antagonizes the beta-1 adrenoceptor found in cyanoatrial node, it decreases the cyclic adenosine monophosphate, which directly decreases the funny current via the blockade of the HCN channel or the hyperpolarization activated cyclic nucleotide gated channel. So this mechanism slows down the conduction velocity of action potentials and hence leads to a decreased chronotrophy. Also, D-nebivolol antagonizes the beta-1 adrenoceptor found in the myocardium, which results into decreased cyclic adenosine monophosphate and a decrease in protein kinases, which in turn inhibits the L-type calcium channels, the ryanodine receptors, and also the sarcoendoplasmic reticulum calcium ATPase, which leads into decreased intracellular calcium and also a reduced calcium found in the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So this mechanism leads to decrease in inotrope and also a decrease in lucidrophy. Moreover, the D-nebivolol blocks the beta-1 adrenoceptor in the juxtaglomerular apparatus of the kidney, which leads to the decrease of renin release. Therefore, inhibits activation of renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system. On the other hand, the L-nebivolol-induced endothelial nitric oxide release is mediated via the different mechanisms. So first, via mechanosensitive ion channels, which leads to ATP efflux, which stimulates the urinoreceptor or the P2Y receptor, which in turn increases the activity of the endothelial nitric oxide synthase. Second, the L-nebivolol induces nitric oxide release via the beta-3 adrenoceptor agonism. So therefore, it increases the cyclic adenosine monophosphate, which increases the intracellular of calcium. That in turn also increases the endothelial nitric oxide synthase. The third mechanism is that The nebivolol metabolites acts on the beta-2 adrenoceptors, including the nitric oxide release in a similar manner. Then the estrogen receptor decreases the endothelial stiffness via the serine P1177. Then released nitric oxide diffuses to the smooth muscle cells in the tunica media of the vessel, where it stimulates soluble guanylyl cyclase, which causes the vasodilation. And finally, the antioxidant of the nebivolol is due to the reaction of the nitric oxide to the peroxide. Therefore, the nebivolol decreases chronotrophy, inotrophy, lucitrophy, decrease the RAS activation, increase vasodilation, and antioxidant by nitric oxide. Dosage information of nebivolol. For hypertension, 5 mg once daily may increase dose at intervals of 2 weeks if needed. The maximum dose for adult is 40 mg once daily. And for elderly greater than 65 years old, initially a 2.5 mg once daily, which may increase to 5 mg once daily if required. And for heart failure, initially 1.25 mg once daily, may double dose every 1 to 2 weeks if tolerated. The maximum dose for adult is 10 mg once daily. And for patients with hypertension and renal impairment, initially a 2.5 mg once daily, with a maintenance dose of increase to 5 mg daily if required. Stereochemical research is the advanced technology applied to the drug nebivolol. Nebivolol is an innovative drug that differs chemically, pharmacologically, and therapeutically from all other beta blockers, with its chemical structure depicted on the left. So the nebivolol has 4 chiral centers, which determines the active substances in nebivolol, and has 10 spatial configurations that implicates the receptor binding properties of the drug, but only 2 are pharmacologically active at clinical dosages. Comparison of nebivolol with the other same class of drugs without the technology in terms of outcomes on patients. Nebivolol has shown a great tolerability with a few adverse effects. The most common ones are headache, fatigue, paresthesia, and dizziness. Due to the low affinity for beta-2 receptors, a series of side effects such as bronchoconstriction, drug-induced asthma, and metabolic impairment are largely avoided. Nebivolol, compared to the metoprolol, it did not cause impairment in precapillary vasodilation in skeletal muscle during exercise. And lastly, it lowers the incidence in overall prevalence of erectile dysfunction using the beta blockers. Comparison of nebivolol in terms of improvement of drug delivery. Nebivolol has extended half-life, which contribute to increased patient adherence since the drug is administered less frequently. So we conclude that the combination of the 2 substances of the nebivolol has beneficial cardiovascular actions for the following reasons. First, both molecules act synergistically with respect to blood pressure reduction. Second, undesirable beta blocker effects such as decrease in cardiac output do not occur or less pronounced with the combination of the D-nebivolol and the L-nebivolol. And lastly, it normalizes endothelial dysfunction and has pronounced anti-inflammatory, antioxidative, and anti-proliferative. In short, nebivolol has a anti-atherosclerotic effects. And I will end my discussion with a quote, nebivolol, a unique cardiovascular fixed combination drug. Thanks for listening.